Hey, what's going on, my Gemini boo-boos? This is your monthly forecast for the month of August 2016. Thank you so much for joining me. Briefly, before we get started, I just wanted to remind you guys that this is a general forecast for anyone born under the sun, moon, or rising/ascendant sign in the sign of Gemini. But you still have a whole chart to look at, okay? Not just one sign. There is a link down below to where you can check out your full birth chart and see what other signs make up your astrological profile. If you don't understand your chart, you can shoot me an email and I will let you know how we can schedule a reading, and I will be so happy to interpret it for you. All right, now on to your general forecast for August. All right, Gemini, so your main focuses this month are you're going to continue that busybody, like Gemini type of energy. You always have Gemini energy, but the extra boost in energy from your third house is still going to be going on because the sun is still in Leo. There's a new moon in Leo, and then the energy is going to shift to your fourth house of home and family. So that's going to be a huge focus for you. And then the eclipse is going to highlight your house of education and travel. So let me break down the month and explain why that is in detail. All right, so as I mentioned, the sun continues to be in the third house in the sign of Leo until the 22nd of August. And wherever the sun is shining, whatever sign it travels through, that's traveling through an area of your chart, and it highlights that area of your life. So for you, this is the third house. The third house is a similar energy to Gemini because you guys are third on the regular general zodiac wheel, right? So if on your birth chart wheel that's unique to you, or if your sun is in Gemini even, okay? 3 signs from yourself is Leo. So whenever it's Leo season, you guys are busy. Your mind is whizzing around. You are probably more talkative. You may have a lot of typos when you are typing, texting, or whatever, even more than usual. But yeah, you just have a very busy mind. Your hands will probably be very busy. You will be running a lot of errands. Even if you don't plan to run a lot of errands, they will find you. Trust me on that, okay? So this is when the sun is in the third house. This is a great time for extra mental activity to learn some new things. This is a time of year where you can obtain some new skills of any sort, whether that be like creative or just mainly things that have to do with like thinking, your thinking processes, like absorbing information. But Geminis, you guys don't, generally speaking about your energy, you guys do not normally absorb like large amounts of like long-winded information. It's like little bits and pieces that you collect, and then that helps you to know a little bit about everything. So the sun in the third house is an excellent time for you to continue to be doing that, learning lots of new little things, little facts, little skills, or what have you. This is also a time when you can be focused on communication, like learning new ways to communicate, getting new communication devices like a new phone, a tablet, a laptop, a computer, what have you. Or even short distance travel, like tune up your vehicle. Some issues with your vehicle may arise, but that is only letting you know that your vehicle needs your attention. So you can be a lot more focused in those areas. So the energy is going to start shifting to your fourth house of home and family. That's because all the planets are going to start moving into the sign of Virgo, which is fourth from Gemini. When it's Virgo season, it's all about your family. It's all about your home. You could be looking around your home and noticing things that need to be fixed, things that you want to beautify and decorate, especially because, first and foremost, Venus is moving there on the 5th of August into Virgo, into your fourth house. This is a time where you look around and you're like, you know what, I would like to put this here, put this there, decorate, maybe change things around in your house, change around the decor, you know, change just the shower curtains, I mean the bathroom decorations. Let me tell you, I had this transit last month in July, and that's exactly what I did. I was in Target all the time, and Walmart even, the dollar store. Hey, you can find some cute little knickknacks to decorate your house with that doesn't have to always be top of the line fancy. But let me tell you, Venus there, Venus is all about money and the material. Venus in the fourth is definitely going to make you want to spend whatever amount of money you have that's available to you on decorating and beautifying your living space. Just even putting like those little like some more candles, or even like the candle wax melter things. I can't think of the name right now, but you guys know what I'm talking about. You just drop like a cube of scented wax in it, and it like scents your house. Oh my gosh, like those things are going to be perfect for you to buy during this time. Venus in the fourth house is also a time when you can enjoy being at home a lot more, enjoy cooking for your family or for your loved ones, anyone that you consider to be family, doesn't have to be blood, and also spending more time with them, especially the female ones in your life, like your sisters, your cousins, your aunts, your grandma, your mom. You know, mom is more represented by the moon and to some extent older female relatives, but just enjoying time with family. Awesome with Venus in the fourth. You can also be enjoying yourself if it's not with family, just at home in general, being more of a homebody. And my Geminis, you guys are busy people. You like to be chatty and everything and always talking to different people about different things. But you may have just a little more of a homebody type of enjoyment during this time. Wherever Venus travels also represents where you can find love if you are open to it. So maybe family can introduce you to someone. If you have like a family gathering, barbecue, or whatever, you can be introduced to someone by your family and meet love that way. So that is Venus in the fourth. Venus will be there till the 29th of August. Mercury spins the whole month of August in the sign of Virgo in your fourth house. Wherever Mercury travels, this is your ruling planet. So you know what Mercury is all about. It is communication. It is going here, there, and everywhere, doing all kinds of things, going little places that are close, near to you in the vicinity of your home, your city, your hometown, whatever. Not really traveling that far, but going a lot of different places, okay? Skills of the hands and the mind and everything, as I mentioned before. So that's Mercury. And your mind is going to be on your home and family life. Maybe you have a lot of things to manage and organize when it comes to like your household. Maybe you want to get things in order. I know when I had this transit last month, that's exactly what I did. I bought a calendar, a dry erase calendar. I came up with like plans and schedules and like, hey, let's have family meetings, you know, all of those things when Mercury is in the fourth house, to get your home life in order and situated so that it makes sense and it operates smoothly. That's what Mercury in the fourth is going to do for you. Also, your mind may be on moving. You may be actually wanting to move and work on buying a home because of Venus being there too, and Venus is like your material desires. So desiring to live in a better home, if you're not really happy where you're living at, Mercury is going to help you to think about those things and come up with the plans for moving or for just making your home more comfortable and organized and clean, you know, and making your family life more orderly. You know, like a lot of places in the world, kids are going back to school during this month or preparing to. So this can be a time where you are extra busy. I mean, everybody, of course, that has kids that goes to school during this time, but you, especially Gemini, are going to be like on it. Like, okay, kids, we got to get this, we got to get that, we got to really be prepared for school. A lot of my Gemini friends, generally speaking about your energy, you guys are not really ones to really plan ahead and like stick to like a plan that's like a month from now. You like to do things on a whim, you know, whatever you're inspired by at the moment, that's what you want to do. So you know what, this is going to help you to not just do things in the moment when it comes to your family. It's like organizing things like, okay, we're going to make some plans here, you know, and make sure that the kids have everything prepared for when school starts, and not do last minute school shopping, which, hello, I have been guilty of too. But anyway, that is Mercury in the fourth house. Mercury is going to go retrograde this month though. This is a very important message, especially for my Mercury ruled Geminis. Okay, so Mercury retrograde, I'm sure you've heard people already announce Mercury is going to be retrograde on August 30th. But what people forget to mention is the shadow period. The shadow period begins 2 weeks before Mercury goes retrograde. So this is going to be around the 15th, 16th of the month, right? Now I said around because astrology is not always exact, okay? Not 100% of the time. It can be a few days before, like the normal 2-week period that we give for a shadow period, that you start to see and feel the effects of Mercury going retrograde. So what is the shadow period? It's when Mercury starts slowing down. It's still moving forward, but it's slowing down, right? Then it comes to a standstill. Then it starts its backwards retrograde motion, which is around the 30th is when that happens. But things are going to start being affected as far as your communication, your vehicles, your travel, the devices you use for communication, any electronic devices that you have, gadgets around the house. especially around the house for my Geminis, because this is happening in your 4th house of home and family. So what I would suggest that you guys do is, even before the shadow period begins, okay, before like the 2nd week of August, get your home devices in order. Make sure everything's in working order. Make sure you have that home warranty, that renter's insurance, whatever, and that your devices are protected, okay? Like if you have a garage, the garage door opener or the garage opening, system, your alarm system, security system, even like your TV, like your toaster, your blender. Make sure all that stuff is in working order, because Mercury retrograde, it's not like, oh, I'm here to destroy your life, okay? Look, this is what you didn't pay attention to when Mercury was forward. And now I'm bringing this issue back to the forefront so you can see that this needs to be fixed, this needs to be adjusted, this needs to be taken care of. So Gemini, for you, this is around your home, okay? So just material items that are electronic devices, that includes your communication devices and your vehicles. Make sure they are tuned up, they are protected with cases, they have virus protection, what have you. Everything is protected and in working order. Another general thing that Mercury retrograde in the 4th house is going to bring to you is it can bring back a lot of memories. Okay, memories of the past in general and memories of family. You can have family members contact you that you haven't heard from in a long time, and they want to, rekindle this little family relationship with you again, or reconcile if you guys haven't really been speaking or on speaking terms. So definitely a lot of memories can come back. Memories of childhood can come back to you. So this could be a little more of an emotional, softer time for my Geminis. And you guys normally are not that super emotional of people, but you can be feeling that way this month. Mercury, your ruling planet, is going to meet with Jupiter in the sign of Virgo in your 4th house. It's going to meet there this month. Mercury and Jupiter together is a great energy. It's a boost to the mind, and then this is in your 4th house of home and family. I would say for a lot of my Geminis, this can bring some good luck, which Jupiter can bring to you. In regards to expanding your home, like moving or, just expanding things within the home that you already have, renovating or whatever, this can also bring some good luck when it comes to your family, just maybe planning some vacations, because Jupiter represents long distance travel. So those vacation plans can maybe be a little bit more boosted to be moving along and moving ahead when Mercury meets Jupiter. Some other huge news for my Geminis. Mars moves into the sign of Sagittarius on the 2nd of August. This is your 7th house of other people, of relationships. All right. So this energy happened already earlier this year, I believe around March. I don't have the exact stats at the moment, but it was there for a while, up until I believe April or May. So for about a month or two, Mars was in your 7th house of relationships. It could have brought up and dug up some relationship issues from the past, or maybe some in the present, that just kind of brought some things to your attention that you guys need to work on. Okay, so this is going to come up again. Mars in the 7th, the way to not use the energy is to pick fights with other people, because Mars is anger, it's aggression, and you will be pointing your arrow at other people like you, it's all your fault. You need to respect me, you need to this, you need to that. What I would say is to not be the aggressor, because this can come back to you, because if Mars is in your 1st or your 7th, this can bring about more conflicts with other people. This is like you wearing that energy on you like a badge, and other people will see you in a more aggressive light. You'll be giving that off and exuding that, whether you're conscious of it or not, okay? So this isn't relating to other people, and people can kind of come at you in a way that's a little more aggressive. And then sometimes you'll be like, what? Why are they bothering me? Why are they picking on me? Like, what's going on here? Especially while you have 4th house energy at the same time, because 4th house energy is similar to the energy of Cancer, and Cancers, just being honest, always feel like they are being picked on, okay? And just being honest, Cancers are so sensitive that they can become like an easy target for things a lot of times. So you can be feeling a lot more sensitive and like, why is this person picking on me? Why are they picking at me? But with Mars in your 7th house, this can actually be true, that people could just be purposely challenging you. But this is not an energy that is out to just get you, okay? None of the energies are. There are negatives and positives. The positives are you can get a lot of work done within your relationships. If there are issues, like say there's intimacy issues, or say there's an issue with like you and your partner not being on the same page when it comes to spending time together, Mars can bring about, this feeling of like, I just want to finally take action and do something about that. I want us to work on this together, okay? Together, that's the thing. Don't look at your partner or other people as the enemy when Mars is in your 7th house. So Mars is going to meet with Saturn this month, and Saturn is in your 7th house, and Saturn is all about hard work, like dedicated hard work, doing things step by step, not half-stepping, not skipping steps or anything like that. You do things like thoroughly, okay, until they're done, and it's super hard work. So a lot of my Geminis have been really working hard on their relationships with other people. And if you're like in a marriage or a long-term committed relationship, you guys could have been seeing some hard times that require a lot of hard work and effort. But fear not. Like I said, this is another energy that is difficult, but it's not out to destroy you or your relationships, Gemini. It is just encouraging you guys to come together even more, to solve problems, to work things out, to come to resolutions with things. So Mars meeting Saturn, it may present some extra challenges for you, but remember, transits of planets are not permanent, okay? They are temporary time periods that it can last from maybe like a day to maybe even sometimes years. Saturn's going to be there till 2018. Mars not going to be there till 2018, okay? Only for like a couple months or so, like a month or two. So this is an opportunity to really, really work hard on your relationships, really work things out with this person. For example, I have a Gemini rising person in my life that they've seen some trials and tribulations within their marriage recently, but now they're coming to a point where they are coming together, they're working on the marriage, they are seeking counseling, and they are bettering their employment situations together so that they can have more money and they can not, fight, argue about the finances all the time. They're coming together. So that's what Saturn is helping them to work on. Mars is just going to give you extra drive and extra energy to do so and to do that hard work. So the sun is moving into Virgo on the 22nd of August, and this is putting even more of an emphasis on your home and family life. More of a light shown upon your home to where you're like, this needs to change, this got to go, maybe we need to get rid of this stuff, take it to Goodwill, some redecorating because Venus is there or what have you. So the sun there is just going to help give a boost to the energy of Mercury and Venus that are already going to be highlighting that area and helping you out around the home. All right, let's get into these moons. So what I'm going to do is talk about the new moon and the full moon. Every month there's a new moon. It's when the sun, which is paternal energy, and the moon, which is maternal, come together. What do? They make a brand new something, right? A new beginning or whatever. So for you, this is in your 3rd house. 3rd house, once again, communication, your short distance travel, your skills. So a brand new beginning in this regard. And this is making a positive aspect, which is called a trine, to Saturn, which is hanging out in your 7th house of relationships. So this can be a brand new beginning when it comes to communication that helps out your relationships. And it gives a little more of an ease to the hard work that you've been doing within those relationships. Now, when I say relationships, Gemini, I know a lot of Gemini people just generally speaking about your energy. You're not usually the type that likes to be completely tied down. That's just Gemini energy itself. If you do like to be tied down to your Gemini, maybe you have planets in other signs that are more stable when it comes to relationships, like Taurus before you or Cancer after you, just as a small example, okay? But Gemini likes to bounce around, be here, there, and everywhere. Saturn is kind of making you think about that and tie you down a little bit. This new moon, communication. Aspect to Saturn, your relationships. Bam! Better communication is something that you can work on and something that you can wish for and manifest with the new moon in Leo. This is happening on the 2nd of August. We have a full moon eclipse on the 18th of August in the sign of Aquarius. This is happening in your 9th house of education and long distance travel and the skills that you absorb that are like the really big time skills, okay? I'm talking about life purpose skills. I'm talking about career skills. That is the 9th house. And this is making an aspect to Uranus, which is in your 11th house. 11th house is a similar energy to Aquarius, which is all about belonging, a sense of belonging in a group or within humanity and caring about humanity while still remaining an individual yourself. So if this is in regards to like groups and education, sending positive vibes to one another, working together. I could see some of my Geminis finally making a decision to go back to school, finally making a decision to further your education and your goals, which help you to reach higher minded goals, which is also the 11th house, like achievement, achievement of belonging to a certain group that boosts you within like career and just, you know, advancement of achieving your life's purpose. So that's something that the eclipse can bring. It can also mean like you plan this like really huge long distance trip and friends are involved and like there's a positive outcome to that as well. Those are just a couple of examples of what the eclipse can bring to you. All right, so last but not least, I'm going to pull 2 cards this month for you guys. These are from the Angel Tarot deck from Radley Valentine Enduring Virtue. I'm going to pull one for the new moon in Leo and one for the full moon in Aquarius and see what the messages are specifically for my Geminis in August. So I will be right back. I'm going to shuffle, come back with your cards. All right, Gemini, change of scenery. We're in my office at my desk with my purple fuzzy cover. Anyway, these are the 2 cards I pulled for you for the new moon and the full moon. So for the new moon that happened on the 2nd, the 9 of air is the card that came up. It says expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, sleepless nights. Now, the new moon is happening in your 3rd house of the mind. And remember I said that this is 3rd from Gemini. And so this is an extra Gemini energy for you that's very restless. The mind is so busy and active. And you see there's all these unicorns sleeping peacefully. But yet there's one that's still hanging out awake. And that is you, Gemini, right there. The unicorn is not only awake, it's worried. You know, it's worried about things. And this card is saying that your worrying may be unnecessary, okay? And on this card, there's also it's hard to see, but there's also a waterfall in the background. Now, water symbolizes emotions, and this 9 of air card, air is actually your element, and air symbolizes communication and mental processes and thinking. And 9 cards, not the number 9, is all about completing your spiritual mission, like your duties that you're here for on this earth as a soul in a human body. That's the kind of completion that 9 represents. So this is worrying about your purpose, worrying about what you're supposed to be doing here. Worrying about, it could be worrying about a job, it can be worrying about a job opportunity, it could be worrying about anything in life. You know, you're up all restless and sleepless and everybody else seems to be relaxed. You just have so much on your mind. Now the waterfall, back to the waterfall that I was talking about. Water actually symbolizes emotions. Waterfalls are usually pretty calm and peaceful. At least the one in this card seems that way to me. And since all is peaceful around this unicorn that represents you, Gemini, it's just saying that all of this worry is all in your head, because this is an air card that deals with the mind. It's all in your head, and that you can actually relax. You know, that things will get better. The card even says expecting the worst. So you're kind of like already thinking about, you know, the worst that can happen with this situation, whatever the situation is that is going on in your life that's major. But the card is pretty much saying you don't really have too much to worry about. There's a lot of lush green in this card as well. And when I see lush green, I think of abundance, even though this is not an earth card that has to deal with money. But that's what I think of. I think of happiness and contentment, and things being alive and growing and green are usually a good sign to me when I see them in cards. And then there's also these little fireflies around. And fireflies, you know, they shine. It's like they glow from the inside that shows outwardly. And that's usually a good sign. And to me, that says that that is the capability that you have once you stop being such a worrywart, Gemini. I mean, the energy of Gemini, generally speaking about your energy, usually isn't too much of a worrywart. You guys don't really stick to one thing for very long, especially in your mind. Your mind keeps going and going and going, moving on to the next thing. But there is something major that you're worried about at this time, that this card is telling you it's okay. You can also relax, because You know, don't make it, like it says on the card, a self-fulfilling prophecy where you think negative and negative happens. Think positive, especially because this is a 9 card. The number 9 also is associated in astrology with the ninth house, with the energy of Sagittarius and the energy of the planet Jupiter, which all represent faith and optimism and belief that, you know, a higher source has your back and that everything will be all right in your world. So the card that I pulled for you for the full moon is the Six of Air, so another air card. And it says things are looking up, the end of a difficult situation, taking a trip. And this is super duper like validating of the astrology for you guys this month, because this full moon eclipse is happening in your ninth house. Ninth house is travel, it is long distances, it is expanding your horizons. And if you see on the card, there is the term, where is it? There's a word that says novus. It's hard to see, but it's Novus. And that is a word that means new. Okay, so this, and then the boat is blue. It's kind of hard to tell with this camera, but the boat is blue. And this unicorn looks like it ran away. Like, look, all these other unicorns back there are running. And so was this unicorn. It's in action. It's not stagnant or standing. It's in action. And it looks like it just ran away and hopped in this boat to me. So this is telling me that, yeah, you can be just all of a sudden taking a trip. The trip can be kind of random, you know, especially with this eclipse moon being an aspect to Uranus, which is the unexpected. It can be just a random trip you decide to take, and it can help to bring more optimism into your life and more happiness and more thinking positive. Also, the ninth house is about just optimism in itself. And the card says things are looking up, the end of a difficult situation. So even if you're not a Gemini who's taking an actual trip and physically going somewhere out of town or anything like that, it can be that just in your mind is taking a trip. Not like an acid trip or anything like that, Gemini. Please don't even go there. Okay, I'm just saying. It can be expanding, like your horizons are broadening, your mind is broadening, and thinking about what other opportunities are out there for you, instead of just like being stagnant, you know, which your mind usually aren't as Geminis. They usually move right along. But this is saying that you need not worry. It's another card that's saying you need not worry so much, and have more of a sense of faith and optimism in the fact that everything will turn out in your favor. The end of a difficult situation. I know a lot of my Geminis, you guys have Saturn and Mars hanging out in your opposite sign, which we spoke about earlier in the astrology reading, and that can cause some difficulty, especially with other people. So this eclipse is going to be a release of some sort, to where you can get away either physically or in your mind away from an unfavorable situation, or maybe you don't get away from the situation, but you look at it from a different perspective, from a more positive point of view, a bird's eye view, and see the bigger picture. All right, Gemini, well, that was it for your August 2016 horoscope. I hope it was helpful for you. And don't forget to subscribe if you would like a monthly forecast from me every single month, because I love doing those for you. Also, shoot me an email, or there is a link down in the description box to where you can click on and order a reading from me. I can do readings that are general, just looking at your chart and assessing it, or if there's a specific area of life that you would like me to focus on and give you some insight on, I can definitely do that. So don't forget, you can order down below. And there's also a link to my feedback page, where some of my past clients have given some very kind words of feedback. So check that out as well. And I will see you guys in the month of September. Take care of yourselves. Peace.